Hi, I'm Bill, the Domestic Monk. So today is Friday, June 24th, 2022, and unless you've been living under a rock, you know that today was the big day with the Supreme Court where, thanks be to God, after a half a century, they overturned this gruesome court decision known as Roe versus Wade that has led to the lives of so many innocent unborn children in this country, which has really been a scourge on our nation. So as Catholics, we believe that God is actively involved in creation, and it may not always be visible. We call it Providence, or the invisible hand of God. And I don't think anywhere is that more prevalent or obvious than with my man, President Donald Trump. I mean, if you look at, the guy's had an amazing life. Almost everything he touched turned to gold. But when he ran for president back in 2016, from the minute he went down the escalator with his wife there in Trump Towers to announce, the entire system just opposed him. And it was vitriolic almost, angry, not logical, not rational, just a bitter hatred for the guy. But despite that, he waded through a field of, 16 or 17 Republicans, including the next Bush in the Bush dynasty, mowed right through them. Went right from there to the presidential election with Hillary Clinton, the Clinton dynasty, right? It was her turn. She was going to be the first woman president. Clobbered her. He gets into office, and from the moment he got elected, they were trying to get that guy out. And that should tell you something, And then look what he did as president. Well, he ran on his love for America. He wanted to make America great again. And everything he did supported that. If you look at when he left office, economically, the situation this country was in, it was remarkable. The stock market was at record highs. Unemployment was at record lows. Gas prices were, $2 a gallon? It's unbelievable. He raised our standing in the world, the things that he did overseas, making these Europeans pay for their own defense. The peace treaties he did in the Middle East. He moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. People said it couldn't be done. Donald Trump did it. Think about it. The guy had never even run for dog catcher before. And the very first time he runs for a public office, he runs as the President of the United States and wins. And not only that, he did a phenomenal job. And of course, one of the things he ran on was appointing Supreme Court judges that would uphold the Constitution. And he had a list, he provided that. He said, I'm going to pick people off of this list. And he did. And by Providence, he picked 3 faithful Catholics. Up until that time, Clarence Thomas was the only faithful Catholic on the Supreme Court. And isn't it ironic that Clarence Thomas got the treatment, was one of the first people after Bork who got the treatment that Donald Trump got for 4 years and is still getting, even after he left office, right? But he appointed these justices, and what did they do? Look at what has happened in the last week. Yesterday we had the decision from the Supreme Court that struck down New York's restrictions on the Second Amendment. And it was Clarence Thomas who got to write the majority opinion for that. And basically, what did he say? It's not a second-class right. These are our rights. Our founding fathers in the Constitution declared that our rights come from God. They're not just perks that a government can give and take as they see fit. These are our rights. And chief among them is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If you don't have life, you got nothing. So that today we get the ruling on Casey and Roe. And so, that's going to go back to the states, and that's the way our government's set up. So things that are not the purview of the federal government are supposed to go to the states, where it's closer to the people, where we have more influence and control over our government, as it should be. Let's contrast Donald Trump with Joe Biden. Now, Donald Trump doesn't claim to be some big religious guy. He doesn't wear his religion on his sleeve. But he says what he means and he does what he says. Now look at this scoundrel, Joe Biden, who's our president. He claims to be a Catholic, but everything he supports and advocates for is in opposition to the church. You know, the Bible teaches us a couple things. One, professing they were wise, they became fools. That's Joe Biden. If you look at him, he thinks what he's doing is right, but everything he touches falls apart. He destroyed in 2 years the economy that Trump gave us. We were energy independent, and now we're begging for oil. We're paying record gas prices. Inflation is through the roof. The supply chains are messed up. People can't even get baby food under this guy. It's unbelievable. The Bible also teaches us you will know them by their fruit. And the fruit of Joe Biden is poison. And it's poison because a fool. He turned his heart from God. The Bible also teaches us they honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. And that's Joe Biden. His heart is far from the teachings of Christ and the teachings of the church that he claims to be a member of. And he wonders why everything's falling apart. And the remarkable thing, the great thing about it is, look at Donald Trump. They thought they ran him out in disgrace. They're still trying to embarrass him with this kangaroo court over January 6th. But look, even with that, the guy is still winning. He's still winning. When God is with you, who can be against you? And that's what's so remarkable about all this. I mean, you can just look at it playing out for those who have eyes to see. Look at what's happening in the world. You know, we have turned our backs on God. In countries, in societies that do that, the Bible teaches us it can only go for so long. And then God's going to give you your wish. He's going to let you have a society run without God. And a society without God is a society without truth. And a society without truth is a society without justice. And if you look at these clowns running around screaming for justice, they have no idea what justice is. I mean, look at this whole thing over Roe versus Wade. They think it is some right. They never had a right to murder these babies. It was a license from the government. It wasn't a right. Nowhere is it in our Constitution or in our Bill of Rights. And those are the documents that define the rights that we have as American citizens. So, you know, it's remarkable. The people who count Donald Trump out, man, I just don't think you're paying attention. I don't know what Donald Trump's going to do. I hope he runs again. I love the guy. I think he's the greatest president we've ever had. And it's not because of what type of guy he is or isn't. That's the ironic thing. You know, you see the people that claim to hate Donald Trump and they point to, well, he's been married multiple times or whatever. But these are the same people that love Bill Clinton, who turned the White House into a whorehouse, or John F. Kennedy, who did the same thing. You know, they're such hypocrites. Look, I don't support Donald Trump because of what type of guy he is. I don't know him. I'll probably never meet Donald Trump. I mean, I would love to meet him, and from everything I hear, he's an incredibly gracious guy. But that's besides the point. We're never going to meet the President of the United States. He doesn't impact our life on a daily basis because of his personality or what he tweets. That's all madness brought up by the people who hate him. And they hate him for irrational reasons. Because he loves this country, he elevated its status, he elevated our freedoms, he elevated our rights, he lifted us up. And ever since this guy Biden came in, they've been pushing us down. It's the exact opposite. It's just remarkable. But you see the work of God with everything he had against him these last 6 years. He is still doing God's work. And these scoundrels who think they know better, they're making themselves look like fools. So I'll conclude with this. You know, Donald Trump, it was Donald Trump who came in and elected 3 strong, faithful Catholics to that Supreme Court like he said he was going to do. And that's the reason that Roe versus Wade was overturned. It's amazing what's been going on, the contrast here, and God is operating behind the scenes. Providence, the invisible hand, it's there for all of us to see. We just need to open our eyes. And it was Catholics, strong, moral Catholics, appointed to the Supreme Court, who put that to an end. And it was Donald Trump who did it. Donald Trump. So you can hate him all you want. He is doing God's work on this earth, and I say God bless Donald Trump and God bless America. So thanks very much for watching, and as always, siempre adelante.